Dheeraj Tatar, a system professor in the Chemical Engineering Department of LGIT Ahmedabad. In this lecture, I am going to start new topic of the computer-aided process synthesis. So let's start. So chapter name is Synthesis of Heat Exchanger Network and topic is Heat Integration Methods. In last lecture, we have seen pinch technology and we have also solved numerical based on pinch technology. In this lecture, I will explain you how to write stepwise design process for temperature interval method or pinch design method. You can see on the screen, discuss the pinch design approach for minimum utility requirement. By using this concept, we can find out minimum hot utility requirement, minimum cold utility requirement, and we can also find out here heat capacity flow rate for hot stream and cold stream. But before that, you should know this method is also known as the temperature interval method, and this method is used to in process industries to minimize the energy requirement, and this concept is nothing but process integration or energy integration. This is nothing but the figure for shell and tube heat exchanger. You can see here. After that, now you can see on the screen, these are the assumptions for pinch technology. First assumption is process should be steady state, means whatever the parameters involved in process industries, all those parameters are not varying with the time. After that, it should follows first order and second order of the thermodynamics, means energy neither be created neither be destroyed according to the first law of thermodynamics, and according to second law of thermodynamics, heat always flow from the higher temperature to the lower temperature. And finally, this flow should be in a counter current mode, means all those streams are flowing in opposite direction to each other. This is nothing but counter current flow. Now we will see steps involved in pinch design approach. Before that, I told you in previous slide as well that this method is nothing but temperature interval method. So we will see now steps involved in the pinch design approach. First step is first identify all hot stream and cold streams. After that, now you have to find adjusted temperature by using delta T minimum. How to find that? You have to just divide that stream into two equal streams, means if delta T minimum is equal to 20 degrees Celsius, you have to divide that 20 by 2, means you will get adjusted temperature, that is nothing but 10 degrees Celsius. In last lecture, we have solved numerical on this topic where delta T minimum is 10 degrees Celsius and adjusted temperature is nothing but 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5 degrees Celsius. Next step, you have to find here shifted temperature table. To find out shifted temperature table, you have to do here, you can see fourth point, to find shifted temperature table, add adjusted temperature in cold stream and remove the adjusted temperature from the hot stream. And next step is to find stream population table, where we have find out various delta H value, CPC value, CPH value, after that extra utility value. I will explain you all these steps now in this slide. You can see on the screen, sixth step is nothing but first step in a stream population table is write down shifted temperature in a decreasing order. So in stream population table, first point is nothing but you have to write all the shifted temperature in decreasing order. After that, you have to draw temperature profiles for all streams. All streams means nothing but hot stream and cold stream. In last lecture, we have seen there are four streams. First one is the H1 stream, H2 stream, C1 stream and C2 stream. So all these streams you have to draw here temperature profiles for H1, H2, C1 and C2. After that, you can see here, then find temperature difference by using shifted temperature data. Means first column in a stream population data is nothing but your shifted temperature. You have to write all this temperature in a decreasing order. After that, in a next column, you have to draw all temperature profiles. In a third column, you have to write temperature difference by using shifted temperature data. Next step is to find out summation of CPC minus summation of CPH. It is nothing but the difference between combined heat capacity flow rate for the hot stream and cold stream. So you have to find this difference. For this difference, we will use temperature profiles. In last lecture, I already told you how to find this delta CPC minus summation of the CPH. How to find this summation of CPC minus CPH. Now we will see here next point, that is Find out delta H by using heat flow rate and temperature difference. We know that sensible heat is given by mCp delta T. So mCp is nothing but heat capacity flow rate. We are having this value in our question directly. So mCp is nothing but your value for the heat capacity flow rate. You have to just multiply that value by the temperature difference, which we have find in an earlier step by using shifted temperature data. So this is nothing but step number 10. Here you have to find delta H value by using mCp delta T. After that, 11th step, you have to find here surplus and deficit values of enthalpy using delta H. So here you have find delta H value by using shifted temperature and heat capacity flow rate. Now in this column, you have to find here surplus or deficit value of the delta H. So you can see here now. Then identify minimum or most negative value. Minimum value means nothing but most negative value from the surplus or deficit column. Then you have to mention that value in the extra utility column. That is, then you have to mention that value in an extra utility column. That is nothing but your topmost row of the extra utility column, and that heat is nothing but minimum hot utility requirement for your process streams. After that, you can see finally calculate remaining values for the extra utility by using these minimum hot utility value and delta H values. After that, finally, after completion of the stream population table, just observe which value is the negative in extra utility column. Corresponding temperature for that value is nothing but pinch temperature. After that, you can see topmost value in extra utility column is nothing but minimum hot utility requirement, and bottommost value in the extra utility column is nothing but your minimum cold utility requirement.
You can see on the screen now, this is nothing but stream population table. We have solved this numerical in last lecture as well, where I have explained you how to find all these values. So in this lecture, I have explained you all these steps, means how to write in exam all these steps. So we will quickly revise, quickly apply those steps in this table now. So we will get better idea related to the stream population table. So what we have done, firstly, we have calculated, we have first find out all hot streams and cold streams. After that, we have just find out temperature, shifted temperature. Before that, we have calculated adjusted temperature, and then adjusted temperature value we have added in the cold stream, and we have removed that value from the hot stream. After that, we got shifted temperature, and in this table we have written those values in a decreasing order. In the first column, you can see in the first column we have written those values in a decreasing manner. After that, we have drawn here temperature profiles for the H1 stream, H2 stream, H3, H4. If there is available H3 stream and H4, you can also draw for those hot streams. But here only two streams available in last numerical, so H1 and H2, and after that C1 stream and C2 stream. Those are nothing but cold streams. After that, we have calculated delta T. I told you to calculate delta T values, we used here shifted temperature values. So to calculate, for example, to calculate 40, we have used here 225 minus 185. Similarly, we have calculated here all these values. After that, just apply the rule we have seen for the summation of CPC minus CPH to calculate these heat flow rate values for the fourth column, that is nothing but summation of CPC minus summation of CPH. After that, we have to calculate here delta H value. This delta H value is nothing but sensible heat. In formula for that, we know that is nothing but mCp delta T. So mCp is nothing but summation of CPC minus CPH. Okay, and delta T is we have calculated here delta T in the third column. Just multiply this fourth column and third column. You will get here delta H value. We have to calculate this delta H value for all the temperature. It's all the shifted temperature. After that, we have to find here surplus and deficit. I told you in previous slide as well, this is nothing but next step of the pinch design or temperature interval method. So here you have to find out surplus or deficit value from the delta H enthalpies. After that, here that value is nothing but minus 2360. Whatever the value, that is the most negative value, you have to mention that value in the next column. That is nothing but extra utility requirement. And I told you extra utility requirement is nothing but the minimum heat utility requirements. That's why we have considered here most negative value from the surplus or deficit. That value you have to mention in the extra utility topmost section. After that, by using this extra utility and delta H value, you have to calculate remaining values for the extra utility. After calculating, you have to just observe which is the topmost value, that is nothing but your minimum for utility requirement, and the bottommost value, that is nothing but your minimum cold utility requirement. In this manner, we can solve this numerical based on the temperature interval method or pinch method. So this is all about this method. What we have seen in this lecture, I have explained you related to the assumption of the pinch technique. After that, how to solve this numerical, what are the steps involved in this numerical, and how to find which type of answers which we can get from this solution. That is nothing but minimum hot utility, minimum cold utility, heat flow rate for the cold stream, heat flow rate for the hot streams. So in this manner we can solve this numerical. This numerical can be asked in your exam for 7 marks. Okay, so this is all about this lecture. We will continue in the next lecture with the next topic. Thank you very much.